Hey there, Aries, and welcome to your reading with me, Melissa Joy, and at my channel, Joy to the World. I'm happy to have you here. So, it's amazing how calm the water just went right before I pressed record. Maybe that's not a typical Aries thing, is wanting the pulse, the heartbeat, the up and go, kind of like the thrum of the city or agenda or activities and things like that. Yes, yes, yes. But there's a place for the quiet, for the stillness to occur. Because in that moment, what you're showing me here, I'll get into the cards in just a minute, friend. But you'll know this is for you, because if you're a visionary and you're wanting big things, you're desiring big dreams, you're wanting to experience and taste it all. Is that you? Well, if it is, let's listen up, because that's what this is leading towards. That's what I hear. I can hear it off in the distance. So we're going to step into it together. I listen back to these as well. So anyways, they're talking about that stillness, something it does to your mind and your spirit and your framework. It opens up the massive lens. It's kind of like widescreen on the television, or when producers record movies in widescreen, it shows you so much more than what was there. It gives you a panoramic view. And they're telling you, stop and take it all in. Take it all in, the scope, the breadth, and you're like, no, I want to close it in and narrow in and get on the specifics and on the to-dos and on the activities. And they're saying that's so limited. That's so limited. There's this fresh new wind moving in. It has this calm quality to it. It says moving into that fourth state of matter, the plasma, where we make the impossible come true. Why? Because we begin to get into our truth. When we get into our truth, we go into that fifth state of matter, which is the creatorship. So they're saying there's something unknown, unseen, never to have been dreamt of on the horizons of your mind, greater than you can think or imagine. And when you stop and you just get into the stillness for a moment, you get into your spine, you sit into your sits bones, maybe sit down on the ground somewhere, because that makes it quick. It quickens the spirit. It quickens the trip. It shortens the journey without shortchanging you. It gives direct access. Direct access. And it opens you up because it's beyond the scope of language. You ever heard the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words? Well, imagine what this scope, this observance does. It gives you almost a 360. Now, if you're wanting that 360, you might tune into Pisces, because there's a bit of it going in there. And theirs actually goes in deeper to a state of rest. That internal panorama, that internal scope, that internal otherworldly connection. Because they're talking about otherworldly energy coming in here for you, Aries. So let's see. Ooh. I'm just pulling off the top to take a little peep. Ooh. Jimmy Durante's here. He's like, roll over and let Jimmy take over. So what they're talking about is what happens to your mind. It becomes made new. There is a lens there and a scope there and a fractal there that you have yet to experience. And it talks about fascination. Instead of just initiation, getting back into the premeditation, what comes before that spark is the fascination. And they're saying often it's like out in the scope of the world and the goings and the doings and the earthing part, right? But they're wanting to get into your world. A world that hasn't existed yet. It always has inside of you. But they're ready to put that drop of water. If you watch The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, little Lucy, it's the one that came from all before, and just spark it and bring it to life. So that's what they're saying. Roll over and let Jimmy take over. Put down the action. Put down the decision, that ignition in the initiation. Let us do that. Just when you open up, it's like that is your creatorship. And it begins to open the expanse to the world for where your energy is right now, your dreams, your desires, the state of energy you like it to be in, because mine, I like it to be easy. I'm done with hard. And easy doesn't mean cheesy. Easy doesn't mean low end. No, with ease, with flow, with carry, without stress, friction, that type of thing. So it's opening up to the fullness, the full scope of yourself, and those new things coming across the grazing lands, across the ocean, across the skies. All right, so that's a bit of that. Let's get some shuffle in here for you and see what we can dig out a little bit more. What's that all about? I don't know. Maybe it's the Aries has a little resistance, right? Because Aries was the sign in which Chiron was finally identified. Maybe you're from the age group of 63 to, no, 68 to 77. Maybe your parents are from that time. But it's about bringing down those walls of resistance to the way you do things and the way things are, and this is what works for me, and I love that feeling, and da, 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 da. That's okay. Why are you tuning in here if you know everything? I'm just saying, all right? Check it before you wreck it. And this isn't from me to you, because I listen to these as well. This is from me to me, and maybe from you to you. I don't know, friend. But it's like, hey, halt. Because there's that part of you, the Metatron, the Akashic Records, the Sandalphon sitting around ready to disseminate that energy into your world, into your life. There's something new coming in, this refreshment, this things that you didn't know you desired, that you didn't know you passionately loved, that you didn't know fulfilled you. Relationships, people, places, journeys, trips, things, that spark. It's like all the fires wanting to percolate in you, all the conversions of the elements. There's another 5 coming in because they were talking about the energy of the 5. The pentagon is what they were talking about as opposed to the pentagram. Thinking that the big is in the big, but it's not. I started out as one teeny little cell meeting another little cell, another little microorganism. They came together and life sprang forth from there. And life, like Jimmy Durante, ha-cha-cha-cha, took over and did what it does, because the funny thing with life, the cell divides in order to multiply. That's what happens when we get out of the world thinking in the world way and just following the gut and taking off. They're saying there's something so much bigger, your whole spine, your whole divine nature. I ain't selling it, because there's the high priestess. Who did high priestess show up for? I showed up, maybe it showed up in the collective reading, but anyways, it's showing it when your worlds come together, it's natural. There's no having to fix it or having to repair it or having to apologize or having to restrain or blasting forward and regretting it later. There's none of all that. Just old energy does away. That's the part of you. That's the part of it that they're talking about. Not the things that are already fulfilling, that work out right, that always refresh you and you just... when you give into it. Not those initiations, not those passions. They're talking about the ones that leave you kind of crunk at the end of it, kind of regretting, kind of sour, kind of like on yourself, all right? This is High Priestess coming in, wanting you to be fresh as a daisy, this fresh energy, this fresh wind coming in to delight your soul. And that's why they're having you sit back and change that scope for a minute to pre-meditate, right, friend? All right, let's see if there's anything else that wants to talk to our Aries friends there. Oh, I see what's coming out. Going from trashy to treasure, from things being kind of like demolished or broken down. Somebody's showing up with a little bit of Taurian energy in there, maybe on the cusp of Taurus, maybe a Taurus parent, maybe a Taurus job, something that's very heavy and bringing pleasure to lots of other people, and you're like, I want mine, and they're like, we know that. Ooh. I don't know if this card has come out at this channel. Look at that, the 4 of Cups. It's showing up as an odd little bit of hangman, but it's interesting because you think in order to fill your cup, you have to ball up and get a move on. But it's saying get a use on. You're using yourself, which is a form of abusing yourself. Why do you use yourself? You are yourself. How about you feed yourself, invest in yourself, celebrate yourself? All right, and that's why they're saying to premeditate. Just back it up a second, because there was something that existed before you were born. Something that existed before you were born, because these poppies are showing up like when we hit here, we landed here, bam, we go straight to sleep. The sleep of death. You might be dreaming. You might be desiring, you might have lots of things going on there, in my case, nightmaring, right? But there was something that existed before that, and they need you to know that. So that's why they're saying pre-meditate. Back up into the space for a moment, and you'll see that life is waiting for you. Life is ready, and your heart, your soul, your body is ready to speak with you, not be told what to do, be dominated, be controlled by you, be driven by you. And removing the drive doesn't remove the vastness and the beauty of your experience. It takes out the subservience, and it puts you in union with yourself, seeing eye to eye, knowing that you can be your best friend. You can also, there's a lot going on under that water. There's stuff out here ready to feed your soul, friend. All right, get some soul food there, baby. You could leave me comments and thumbs up down below. You can let me know how this sat with you. Hopefully you step on in and take that little bit of scoop and go, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm just going to try this and see. Not because Joyce said it, but because I do have big dreams and I desire so much more. And I've never thought to back it up for a moment. Not slow myself down, because when you begin to get in the rhythm of yourself as something that existed beforehand, and you begin to create that little bit of space for it, it's going to be you, and you're going to recognize it as you, and you're going to begin to get excited because you're going to feel it like trembling or vibrating through your energy, right? Awakening you to the plenty, the abundance that you are. If you like that, why don't you subscribe to this channel? Jump on Joy to the World here with us, put your life in here with us, and let's see what happens. All right, I love you. Bye.